Good morning, everyone. Shrotikanta Guha Foundation is a charitable society which was established in September 1991 in memory of Shrotikanta Guha, who expired in January that year. Currently, Shrotikanta Guha Foundation owns 3 schools in West Bengal: Garden High School, Kolkata, affiliated to Council for the Indian School Certificate Examinations; Garden High International School, IGCSE, Kolkata; and Garden High School, ISER, Kolkata, affiliated to Central Board of Secondary Education. Shrotikanta Guha Center for Culture and Learning, SKGCCL, set up by the foundation, organizes monthly seminars since 2022 on the last Monday of every month. This is the first seminar for the session 2023-2024. This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce our special guest, Professor Nitin Chattopadhyay. Professor Nitin Chattopadhyay obtained his bachelor and master degrees from University of Calcutta and PhD degree from Jadavpur University, working in Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. He joined the Department of Chemistry, Jadavpur University in 1991, where he has been a professor since 2006. For his postdoctoral research, he worked in Catholic University of Leuven, Belgium, and Coimbra University, Portugal. His areas of specialization encompass photochemistry and spectroscopy, biophysical chemistry, surface chemistry, fluorescence sensing, polymer photophysics, photoacoustics, calorimetry, etc. In recognition of his scholastic teachership, he was endowed with the Shiksha Ratna Award from Government of West Bengal in 2019. He has been a Fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Sciences, India, and West Bengal Academy of Science and Technology. He is a recipient of the Bronze Medal from Chemical Research Society of India. He has received Professor S.C. Ameta Award 2019 from the Indian Chemical Society and Professor S.R. Mohanty Memorial Award in 2018 from the Orissa Chemical Society. He has been in the editorial boards of a number of international journals like Biophysical Chemistry, Journal of Photochemistry, Photobiology, B, Biology, Helion, Frontiers in Molecular Bioscience, and many others. Professor Chattopadhyay's research has developed a good number of new and valuable strategies in chemical and biophysical areas. His research on enhancement of sensing ability of a fluorosensor by orders of magnitude, simply introducing the novel use of micelles as mediators, needs special mention. The strategy is powerful enough to enable a cationic sensor to sense a cationic species in aqueous medium, reported for the first time. We are really thankful to Professor Chattopadhyay for taking the time out of his busy schedule to be here with us. May I request him to accept our token of appreciation from our head girl, Sarika Banerjee, and head boy, Samrat Samik Sen. Thank you, Samrat. Thank you, Sarika. Now over to Dr. Nitin Chattopadhyay.
Thank you very much. The sound is good. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. No, it's all right. Okay. A very good morning. Still, it's morning. It's a nice occasion for me, or scope for me, to interact with the students. I am particularly interested to the students, not to the senior ones, with all due respect. So let us have some discussion and fun to stimulate ourselves, including me, to go to science. Now let us start with this first slide that is here. What is it? Let us consider that this is a A4 size paper, and this is footprints made up of water. Okay? So the first question is, how can you make it? Any suggestion? How can you make it? A4 size paper, and there some footprint on, okay, if you just do not like this footprint, maybe handprint of water on it, just like this way, somehow 3D mode, no? How can you do it? How can you do it? Any suggestion? Yes, please. That is one suggestion. একটা মাইক হলে সুবিধা হয়, সবাই জানতে পারে. That is one suggestion, but what he told is, his answer was like the following: to take the paper and put drops of water. But this is not the answer, because you cannot draw this thing that way, number one. Number two, in the water, if you just try doing this, right, after going to your home today itself. Yes, please.
Can it be some form of electronic effect? Like, is it something related to like electronic effect?
Electronic effect, not really. Any other? Simple, yes, please.
Placing cellophane paper on the white paper.
He says placing cellophane paper on it. It's around the correct answer. So maybe a clue. Any other? Any other? This is a interaction. This is some sort of interaction only. Nothing? Let me give the answer. You take the A4 paper, okay? You take candle. You take a candle. So just rub it on the paper. Rub it on the paper, okay? And then put your hand in some water reservoir and place it very gently. You will get this sort of figure. Of course, with your hand you will not get this figure, but you will have something like handprint, okay? So the intermediate thing is hydrophobic substance. Here it was candle, okay? So the title, as I say, attitude of learning and teaching. So it has the contents for both students as well as respected teachers. This attitude is a very, very important word in one's life, everybody's life. I consider this is the most important word in one's life, attitude. Because if you can, as I understand, if you can tune your attitude to the proper position, that attitude will do everything for you. Okay? Anyway, so it's me. If you have any question, even in the coming days, please do not hesitate to write me directly to my email. If you just go to Google, put my name, you will be taken to my home page, which contains my mobile number as well. Okay? Everything is open, so please don't hesitate to contact me. Just introduce yourself that I am a student of Garden High School, where you gave a talk, and so on and so forth. So, my first humble submission to the teachers, particularly, I do not intend to give you lessons, of course, but just wish to share my realizations. So please don't take it in some other way. Now, I like these quotations and writings, like T-shirt writings very much. I am fond of this thing. Particularly the quotes, and quite often I try to follow them. This is reality. So let us start with only one. Professor APJ Abdul Kalam, you know, all of you know, right? Yes. So he has given a very large number of quotations. You can get all these things in the internet. They are really very nice. So the first one, the one that I put here. All birds find shelter during rain. When it rains, the birds, what do? They try to hide themselves from these raindrops. So they go to some verandas, some ventilators, some trees which is densely, which has dense number of leaves, okay? But eagle avoids the rain by flying above the clouds. So when the rain starts, what does eagle do? It flies up, flies up, flies up, flies up, and it just crosses the cloud. So you see, what is the take-home message? Take-home message is, problems are common, but attitude makes the difference. This is the attitude. Okay? Okay. Again, this I got from a T-shirt writing. I was born intelligent. Education ruined me. The teachers may be very annoyed with me, but I believe this to be correct to a good extent. May not be wholly, but to a good extent. What is the meaning of it? The inside meaning of it? Actually, if you just go more critically through this, I was born intelligent, ... education ruined me. One of the dot is improper. So if you just look at some kid, very little one, he or she has a lot of question. This, I got the experience from my own case. My son, when he was very young, very little, he used to ask questions continually. I was very happy. But then obviously he grew up, he was admitted to some school, I do not want to name the school. And then class 5, 6, 7, 8, his questioning went down, 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 down. And that's the pity situation, the students that we get in our university in the class first year. So they are 18 plus. They are at the bottom, no question. So we in the class hardly get any question. So that must be the reflection of this one. I was born intelligent, that's why I had so much questions. But then education, or maybe improper education, ruined me. So now I have no question. And sincerely I believe, if a person does not have a question, academically, he or she is dead. Academically. So you have to have question all the time. What is science? I have a different definition for it. To me, science means asking questions to myself. That means science. Okay? Now, all of you are here to have education. In any subject, any topic, any aspect, the very first question should be, what is that? In Bengali, khai na mathay day. Right? What it is actually. So the same question I put, what is the objective of education? Basically the same question you can put, what is education? What is this? Getting mark sheets and good certificates, mark sheets with 99, 100, blah, 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 all these marks, right? Huh? No. What is the objective of education?
Yes, sir. Achha. Sir, education, I feel it's a very, very big word. And in a big sense, it just does not refer to something which is as petty as learning or getting marks. It revolves around the evolution of ourselves. into better human beings as well as learned people?
Very philosophical answer, of course correct answer, but very philosophical answer. I need some, or rather I would ask for a more comprehensive thing, which everybody can feel. Any other answer? This is a subjective question, so answers should be different. It will depend on person to person. Okay, without wasting time, let me give my answer. What is the objective of education? Simply, it is to enhance the power of logical or rational thinking. Education means if you are really educated, you have sufficient rational thinking, and that covers everything. Everything, you get your answer, right? So, we should go for real education, not enriching the mark sheets. Okay, these are some general things everybody should know. Teachers are the makers of the society. So, two makers. You see, first come to this thing, makers of the society. Maybe engineers, maybe doctors, maybe teachers, maybe bus drivers, so many professions are there. They are the makers of the society, but who have made them? Teachers in different fields. So teachers are the makers of the society, right? Hence, teachers are the most respected persons of the society, even today. Why do I say even today? Because we have degraded a lot. But still, from my personal experience, I can definitely say that teachers, even today, teachers are the most respected persons in the society. That means we are privileged. We have some added respect, so we are privileged. And that indicates or implies we have our responsibilities and duties. If we cannot perform our duties and responsibilities, then we cannot claim or we will not have this privilege anymore for a long time, which is actually our position is degrading for that reason only. We are not performing our duties and responsibilities. Anyway, points to feel and follow. To feel the need of good teachers, of course it doesn't require any argument. A society can be framed only through good teachers. And a society can be destroyed simply if you have a good number of bad teachers. That's it. To feel the need of good teachers, okay. At the same time, everybody should remember, teacher is not a superman or superwoman. What does it mean? It's impossible for any teacher, any person to know everything. That's impossible, okay? In scientific sense, impossible. That means the teacher should have the strength to admit, I do not know, where it applies. So that means when a student asks some question, maybe I do not know at that time, so I should not hesitate to say that I do not know. Of course, I should not encourage the teachers to repeat these things, I do not know, every time. That does not go in his or her favor, of course. But where it applies, it should be told, and he or she, the teacher, should take the responsibility to get the answer and communicate to the student, maybe next day. Then, students are the best teachers. To the teachers, you will not feel, but all teachers, they have experienced this thing. Students are the best teachers, so it is our duty to let them think independently and ask questions. The job of a teacher is not just to teach, this is my feeling. So what is the job? But to create interest in the subject. If you have interest, you will do everything on your own. You will come to the teacher, ask to make yourself satisfied. So, the job of a teacher is principally to create interest in the subject. Now, society and education, they are interrelated. All the time you should try to apply these scientific things to society and enrich science through your experiences from society. So what is the basic or fundamental or principally what is the difference between class lecture and a political talk? Political lecture. What is the difference? Fundamental difference. Contents are obviously different. Contents are obviously different. The same way, a history class lecture and a mathematics class lecture, contents are different, but they are both class lectures. So what is the basic difference between a political lecture and a class lecture? Any answer? Please take participate or do participate here. No answer. Political lectures are unidirectional. Unidirectional. The political boss comes, says blah 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 all these things and goes away. Nobody asks any question. And nowadays it's not no question of asking anything to him or her, because otherwise, in that case you may be put into jail. But previously also nobody asked any questions. So basic difference is this thing. Class lecture should be reversible in terms of chemistry. Reversible. That means it should be both way process. Not like unidirectional process which is true for political talks. Some things, some tips maybe for the teachers to read the faces of the students and to feel if we are going in the right direction, if all the students can really feel it, otherwise we have to tune our talks. A scientific statement must be complete within itself. Let me give a demo. If I say pH of water is 7, pH of water is 7, am I correct?
Yes. Yes. So no.
Water means pure water, man. Water, it's only water. This is a recent thing, recent feeling of the students that they want to put pure word. When I say it's water, it's only water. Why should we consider it to be impure? Okay, so the pH of water is 7. Am I correct? No. No. At 25 degrees centigrade, I had to mention this thing. pH of water is 7 at 25 degrees centigrade, because if the temperature changes, the pH changes. So this is the meaning of a scientific statement must be complete within itself. Okay? Then, scientific terms should be kept in English to correlate science with society and vice versa. Messages for the students, very important message. The first one is read less. You read too much in the school, then you go to one private tuition, then from there another. You do not find any time for yourself to think on the subjects. So read less. But this is only half. And half message is even worse than no message. No? So what is the other half? Think more. That I say, of course you should read the book by opening the book, definitely. But closing the book, you read more. That is actual reading. Closing the book. Right? ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. As I said already, a person without question means, to me, academically dead. Because you see, this chair never asks any question. This microphone never asks any question. Okay, it asks questions through me. Okay, on behalf of me. But as such, it doesn't ask any question. They are all dead. Then, interact with the teachers in all sense, all possible ways. Interact. This is important. Try to rationalize before accepting the lessons delivered even by the teachers. Don't believe that whatever we say, all are correct. Never believe that. So whenever, even me, whenever I am saying something, you try to rationalize whether Professor Chattopadhyay, what he is saying is correct or not. If you find that it's correct, you accept. If you think there is some fallacy, there is some gap, so then interact. Raise the point, okay? Then, do household jobs yourselves. Science comes from there. And visualize science therefrom. In general, we have the experience that higher secondary or first year students, they are more inclined, they love more physics than chemistry. What for? Because in physics, many things are visible. Like say, for example, A, sub-student A, gives a blow to the nearby student B, his friend. So A gives a blow to B. So immediately B will know what is force, right? What is force, B will know. And needless to say, A will immediately know what is Newton's third law. Right? So, this way, when I switch on something, the light glows or fan moves. So these things are visible. But unfortunately, in chemistry, it is not the case. I have never seen any molecule as such. I will never see. Okay, there are indirect ways, of course, but directly, it's not possible. So, in that sense, chemistry has some limitation or difficulty. But anyway, find science outside your science books. Then I make a drastic comment, which many will object. But I can defend myself strongly. Science books do not contain science. Science books do not contain science. Let me give a demo. Say, for example, there is a corridor, long corridor. You put some oil in between, okay? And your friend is on the other side, you are in this side. Then you ask him or her to come. Come. Something urgent for you. He or she runs, what will happen? He or she will fall. Why? Why? Friction has reduced or has been reduced. Why? Because of the oil. So that is science. Is it in your science books? No. The same way, science books do not really contain science. What does it contain then? These big chemistry books, big physics books, they contain the scientific observations. They report it, they collect it of them. And then they put some definitions, they put some experimental ways, they put some this thing, that thing related to science, which is not taking place within the book. Science actually takes place within you and around you. That means society. So that's why I always advise kids like you to learn science from the society, keeping your eyes open. Okay? Watch movies like Three Idiots. Is there anyone who has not seen the movie? Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand if there is someone who has not seen the movie. Everybody has seen? Everybody has seen? You have not seen, only one. Yeah, please try to get it. This is available now. And that's not all. Watch movies like 3 Idiots, but this is important, more important. What is the take-home message? What is the take-home message? What is the message?
Don't run behind success.
Don't run behind success. So anything you want to say?
The movie basically says that you shouldn't run, like if you start running behind success, then it doesn't prove that, means if you run behind success, then it doesn't mean that success will come after you, but if you go behind education or excellence, then success will run behind you. It's like that.
Absolutely correct. That is the take-home message of the movie. And let me tell, do you want to say something different? Yeah? No? Okay. Let me tell the message in the version of Rancho himself. Rancho says in one place, कामयाबी के पीछे मत भागो, काबिल बनो, कामयाबी झोंक मार के आपके पीछे आएगी. I can guarantee you from my own life experience, I have never run for any awards, blah, 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 all these things. But I only tried all the time to make myself improved. And somehow I am now established to some extent. So they came after me, not I ran after it. So this is a very general thing. काबिल बनो, कामयाबी झोंक मार के आपके पीछे आएगी. If I just translate, it will be something like this. Go for excellence, success will follow you. Do not take science as something to read. Accept it as a game. Play happily with science. You can succeed in any subject only when you are happy with it. Otherwise, it's not possible. So, whenever I say play happily with science, so this is one play, floating needle on water surface. Have you done it? Have you done it? Play with science, man. Play with science. Floating sewing needle on water surface. Is it possible to boil rice in a paper pot? Is it possible to boil rice in a paper pot? Yeah? Yes or no? Yes or no? There lies the science. Is it possible? You are smiling.
I won't know for sure until I have done it.
So you go for it. You do it. It's possible. I can just give you the demo without any problem. But you see, sometimes we unnecessarily impose some restrictions out of us, out of ourselves, without any reason. Like here, what is the question? Boil rice in a paper pot. But I suppose all of you have thought that, okay, I take this much of rice, how can I boil it? No, that is not the question. The amount is not mentioned here. You may put 4 rice grains, 4 or 5 or 10, that's it. If you can boil it, if you can make it into, in Bengali, bhat, right? That's the question. Why to impose that this will be this much or that much? Even if 1 rice grain, paddy grain, if you can convert it to rice, that's it. That is the science. Try for it. Yes, this is possible. This is possible. Then, for the teachers, they often give these things. Sir, crowding of students in the class, how can I pay attention to each one so critically? Load of syllabus, lack of infrastructure and facilities like audio visuals, etc. Audio visual is more effective than otherwise. Lack of facility of having access to quality journals, learning journals like Journal of Chemical Education. Then external disturbances like requisition of academic institutions for political and other reasons. All these, right? And obviously, proper recruitment of good teachers or quality teachers. So these are the problems. But to me, whenever you point at someone, okay, this is the reason or he is responsible, whenever you point at someone, you see 3 fingers point at you. Right? You do it. You do it. You point at someone, you will see 3 fingers point at you. That means if that factor is 1 time responsible, you are 3 times responsible. So rectify yourselves. That is important. Now, the general, this is very general feelings of the high school students towards chemistry, particularly chemistry, a frightening and difficult subject. There is hardly anything that one can enjoy and play with when it is chemistry. A subject just to memorize. Is it really so? Let me give a demo. It is not really. It is not really. Let me give a demo. Let me do 2 experiments, small experiments. If I ask any one of you, how many friends do you have? You will say many. If I just ask you to name, you can go up to 30, 40 names, right, of friends. And then you know your own name, your father, parents' name, if you have some brother, sister, etc. Many relatives. Okay, you know some names of some teachers. So many other names you know. Not only that, whenever I ask you something about your father, his face comes into your mind. And it happens to all the known things, known friends also. That means you are remembering many things, maybe 100 names you know. So do you remember them? Do you memorize these names, 100 names? In the morning every day, okay, my name is this, my father's name is this, do you go on like this? Definitely no. Answer is no. Then if I ask, how can you remember, how can you memorize all these names? Sir, they stay with me. I don't remember, I don't memorize them. They stay. But if I ask some silly question from chemistry, what will happen? You will say, sir, I forgot. What is the difference? Why this difference in behavior of you? Why? Because to our brain, these are all informations. Same thing. So the difference lies in love. You love all those 100 persons, but you don't love your science or subject that way. Number 1. So you start loving the subject, they will stay with you. You don't need to memorize. The second part is, say for example, the person, the friend of you, or you, some of you, who could tell maybe 40 names of 40 friends. If I ask the same person, name your friends who was with you at class 4. How many names can you tell? 4, 5, not more than that. That means it's not like 40. You had more than 40 friends that time, but then lack of recapitulation. You do not have communication. You forgot your name, You forget his or her face, everything you forgot. So, in science also, in any subject, if you can love the subject, and if you repeat or recapitulate the things after maybe 3 months, just open the closed pages again for a short time, short while. They will stay with you. So, chemistry is not really a subject just to memorize. This is a wrong concept. So, till now, you had a very negative feeling about chemistry, but now I am going in the positive side. Beauty of chemistry, it is the most beautiful and most applied science. What is the beauty? Petrol is highly inflammable, right? Petrol is highly inflammable. Water, fire extinguisher. You know, this fire brigade they use mostly, not every time, mostly water to treat with or to deal with, to deal against fire. But sodium, take sodium and put it in petrol, which is highly inflammable. What will happen? Nothing. We preserve sodium that way. We preserve it under kerosene or some alkane, nothing happens. But you see, petrol is highly inflammable. Do the same thing with water. So sodium, put sodium in water, what will happen? Explosion. So this is the beauty of chemistry. What is the explanation? Is water catching the fire?
No, water isn't catching the fire. Sodium is. Sodium is vigorously reacting with the water, so that's why.
Then who is catching the fire? Who takes the fire?
Oh.
Anyone? Who is catching the fire? Hydrogen, very good. Can you explain?
Sodium and water becomes NaOH and H2.
Yeah, just close it.
Sodium and water reacts to form NaOH and H2. The H2 during the reaction, since the reaction is exothermic, it catches fire.
Fantastic answer. Absolutely correct answer. Let me explain it now on his behalf. You see, the beauty of chemistry lies in the fallacy. We thought that when we put sodium in water, we can see the fire, definitely. So we immediately assume that water is catching fire. That's fallacy, because water cannot catch fire. What is the real picture? Picture is, as he says correctly, sodium plus water, sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Hydrogen is a gas, not only that, it is highly inflammable, much more inflammable than petrol, right? So it catches fire. Now, question after question. When something catches fire? When does something catch fire?
Sir, some
Okay, let me make the question clear. My skin, does it catch fire? Yeah? Yes or no? I will not go to court, so you can freely give the answer. Yes. But if I take a candle, I can easily move my hand over it, and it will not catch fire. What is the fallacy lies? What is the explanation? I can take my hand over the flame of the, or through the, not over, through the flame of the candle. So it doesn't catch fire. My skin is still there. So the question is, when does something catch fire? Absolutely correct. Good. Everything has its own ignition temperature. When the real temperature crosses the ignition temperature, then only it catches fire. my skin obviously catches fire. But when I am moving my hand through the candle flame, I am taking it at a faster rate. So the going up temperature and the time is so small that the temperature cannot cross the ignition temperature of the skin. If I put it there, yeah, it will catch fire. Right? Okay. How can you prove it? These are all low cost experiment that you should do. You take a paper, any paper. You take a piece of paper, take a candle, ignite it. So candle flame is there. Put the paper on top of it at a far distance. Hold it for 3 minutes. Nothing will happen. Take it a little bit down. Nothing will happen. And after a certain time, if you just go on bringing it closer, at some point you will see, if you just hold it for some time, it will turn black. And then suddenly, bop, it catches fire. That means that is the point when ignition temperature has been reached. The environmental temperature is crossing the ignition temperature and it catches fire. Now hydrogen is having, or it has very low ignition temperature, and the reaction is exothermic. That means the temperature goes up. So with a little increase in temperature, hydrogen catches fire. So nice. A citable science of ancient India. I am showing something. Do you know? What is this? Iron pillar. Where? Delhi. Next to Qutub Minar. Next to Qutub Minar. So, you see, in the beginning, the title of the talk was Attitude. Here is the reflection of the attitude. This is me and my wife. Picture taken long time back. So that time, we were only tourists. But then my attitude told me, use this thing for teaching. That is attitude. That takes you up and up and up. Now, what is the speciality of this iron pillar? What is the speciality? It doesn't catch rust, right? It is standing open. Okay, so it is getting rain, sunlight, carbon dioxide, oxygen, all these things, nitrogen, etc., everything is there. So try to mimic it. Go to the market nearby your place. You bring a very bright, shiny perec or screw, right? You put it in an open place. Keep it for 1 week, particularly this type, this is rainy season. What will happen? It will catch rust. Then, after 1 month, after 1 year, this will be absolutely destroyed, totally destroyed, right? So what is the difference? First of all, is it really iron pillar? Is it really iron pillar? How do you check it? How do you check it? Yes? Yes? I got the answer. Yes? Magnetic property. That means you bring a magnet in your pocket and put it there. If it is caught, then it may be iron pillar. Okay, fine. That is done. Then why is it not catching rust? While my nail or screw, it caught this rust. Okay, that is the correct answer. The beauty is no rust, you told. Yeah? Alloy. Okay, I am coming to that. So now, do some experiment, real experiment. You can take a portion of it, okay, and make the measurement to know its density. Very simple thing. You can measure the density of it, and you see, Density of this material is 7.81 gram per milliliter. But actual iron, 100% pure iron, I am using your term pure, and that is actually 7.84 gram per milliliter, a very little difference. 7.81, 7.84, and that makes the life different. Right? So this is a fantastic, okay, now if you just analyze the content, it gives 99.72% iron. That means it's iron pillar, no problem. But it is not made up of 100% iron, and that makes the material science so important. Right? Okay, some very simple, basic things. My objective here is to let you know what should be the attitude of learning. Let me give this demo. States of matter. How many states of matter is there? Are there? 5. Oh, okay. I am a simple person. I am very happy with small numbers. Okay. 3. What are they? Solid, you heat it. Liquid, you heat it. Gas. Right? That is the scientific statement you were taught maybe in the class of 6, when you were at class 6. Is it correct? Is it correct? You have never asked any question to your teachers, I believe. So you believe that this is correct. Okay, let me ask about this thing. Everybody has seen naphthalene, everybody. Did you see any time liquid naphthalene? No. Why did you not ask your teacher? Said, so this is not correct? This statement is not correct? Have you asked your teacher? No. That is not the proper way of learning. You should, whenever you came across this naphthalene or camphor is rather rare, but naphthalene everybody knows. You should approach the teacher to ask, sir or ma'am, science says solid, liquid, gas, 3 states are there, but naphthalene doesn't have any liquid state. So what is your feeling now? Is the statement correct or not? Is it correct or not? Is it correct or not? Partially correct. Na gaur ka na ghat ka, naki? No. It's correct. But again the same thing. You have unnecessarily imposed some restriction which is not there in the statement. The statement says, okay, in solid if you heat it, liquid if you heat it, gas. But it has not said that it has to be in the same pressure and temperature condition, the same condition. It is not written. Actually, liquid naphthalene exists. I have seen it while purifying naphthalene. I have seen it. Just you reduce the pressure a little bit and raise the temperature a little bit. That's it. So you take the solid naphthalene in a test tube. You put one, okay. This is solid naphthalene, right? You close it. And then, through the cork, you insert one glass tube, not rod, glass tube. And then, on the other side of it, you put it to exhaust pump. Now we will say, sir, we do not have exhaust pump, right? But some of you at least have hair dryer. So what does it do? Forget about the heating component. It blows air. That means in the other side, it must suck the air, right? So if you can use the back side of the hair dryer, it will act like pump, okay? So the objective is to reduce the power, pressure a little bit, and then you just heat it in water. So you just take water, heat it little bit, you will see this thing to turn into liquid. Okay? So that means it exists. But the problem is not there. Problem is, why don't you ask this question to your teacher? Ask it. Then, viscosity. If I raise the temperature, the viscosity of liquid goes up or goes down? Viscosity of liquid goes up or goes down? Really? Our experience is when say for example, I put the question in general to a student. If I raise the temperature, whether the viscosity of liquid will go up or down? He says it will increase. Really? Immediately the answer comes, no sir, it will decrease. But you see, the answer of science, answer in science should not depend on my tone of asking. It cannot, right? So why do you change your thing? Because you are not confident. You don't have confidence on you. And confidence comes from the rigidity or depth of your understanding. What happens? I don't need to memorize. I don't need to memorize. I have this thing in my home. Every day I am singing it. Or no, may not be every day. Let me give the demo again. You take, can I go? Can I go on? So you take butter, okay? 100 gram Amul butter. I am not campaigning for Amul, any company. Butter. You put it into deep fridge for maybe 3-4 hours. Then just bring it back. Okay? Remove the water vapor and put it on a plate, maybe made up of steel, and put it in a slanting way, right? So you put it immediately there and then try to put or to insert one knife. Can you do it? No, it's rock hard. You cannot. Wait for some time. What is the meaning of wait? Temperature goes up. That is my question. So you wait. And then if you try to pierce this knife, it will easily go through. Wait for some more time, particularly if it is in the summer season. What will happen? The liquid will flow. Liquid butter will flow down, right? That means with increasing temperature, fluidity of liquid increases. And viscosity is just the reverse of that thing. That means it will decrease. So no question. Whether I ask the question in a louder voice or a softer voice, the answer will remain the same. Surface tension. You know, this capillary rise method is a fantastic method to measure the surface tension. So what is done? Say for example water. You take water, you put one capillary, as it is called, partially dipped in water. Have you seen capillary? Where? In the lab. Huh? Thermometer, yes. So they are out of lab. But thermometer, first of all, nowadays it's digital thermometer, so you don't feel really that way. And it's often very difficult even to see the bore of the thermometer. It's not so easy. Any other easy thing? Capillary? Straw, very close, but not really capillary. Any better one? You must have seen it. Every day you are seeing it, but you are not asking the question. Huh? What? Correct. Not the pen. Refill. Refill. When it is empty, the pen is empty, you just take off the metallic part of the refill and you partially dip it, you will see rise in the capillary thing. This is a capillary, but you see, you are using it every day. You do not know that this is a sort of capillary. That's the problem. That I want to change. Okay, now the important question is, okay, it stays there. And now, I just suddenly, with a very sharp knife, I cut it in between. Catch. I cut it. What will happen? What will happen? What happens if the tube is broken half the way? Will it make a fountain? Will it make a fountain? Obvious questions. কিছু হবে না? Will it make a fountain or not? These are the two options. The answer is no. It cannot make a fountain. Why? Why? The simple answer is, you see, let us consider there is a stream of water. If it makes like this, upon cutting it in between, if it makes that like that, I can put one very teeny turbine, so it will rotate and it can give some power. Okay, that power will be extremely low, you can argue. Yes, it doesn't matter. I can put enormous number of small turbines. So and then, it's not only that, I can put another capillary here, another capillary here, and repeat the things. And I can collect all the power in one place, and then that will be substantial amount. Right? That means we can produce the power, electrical power, without wasting anything. Because if I cut it here and if it leads to fountain, it will be non-ending, never-ending. It will go on doing this. So we will be able to get energy without wasting anything. That's impossible. So what is the answer? You go in the literature, or at least you ask your teacher. Okay? Then we are almost at the end. This is a thing. pH. What is pH? What is pH? What is pH? You know, pH of solution. What is
Degree of acidity or alkalinity of a solution.
acidity or alkalinity?
It's the power of hydrogen.
Power of hydrogen. The answer changes. Power of hydrogen. What does it mean?
The concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution.
Again, answer is changing. Concentration of hydrogen. Negative log of this thing. But first question, you see, on any topic is what is this? And your answer should be like that, so that I can understand whether that is to eat or to put on head. Khai na mathay de. In general, we get this answer. If I ask, what is pH? Sir, pH is minus log of CH, where CH is blah, blah, blah. It is not the answer. The first answer will be, it's a scale. It's a scale. pH is a scale. To measure the acidity or basicity of a solution, right? And then this is also half answer. Mathematically, it is defined as pH equal to, yeah, that part. Okay? Now let's go directly to this last question. how to prepare 10 minus 8, 10 to the power minus 8 molar HCl from 10 molar HCl solution. Higher secondary students, 11, 12, yeah. You are supposed to give the answer. So you are given, you are in a chemistry lab, you are given 10 molar HCl, which is available. Concentrated HCl is generally 12 molar, okay, let's consider it 10 molar. And you are asked to make 10 to the power minus 8 molar HCl. You can have everything at your hand. Logical, everything logical. How do you do it? Dilution, okay. V1S1, V2S2. Huh? Then if you just calculate that thing, V1S1, V2S2, that was his answer. Fine, I don't have any problem. So if you just do this thing, V1S1, V2S2, then take 1 milliliter of 10 molar. This is very little amount. Then S2 is 10 minus 8. So V2 will be, if you just calculate, V2 will be 10 to the power 9 milliliter. Do you have some idea about this? 10 to the power 9 milliliter? Do you have idea? Yes or no? No, but yes you have. You have, in society you are seeing it. How? So if I just change it from milliliter to liter, it will be 10�6 liter, right? 10 power 6 liter. The overhead tanks in the corporation or in different places, they contain water in that volume. So you should have the idea. And then, if you just take only 1 milliliter, you need to make the solution of this volume. That's not possible in a lab. You cannot take that water container here. So can you do it or not? Again the same problem. We have put some extra restriction that it has to be made in one step. Who told it? The question did not contain this restriction. The question only asked you to prepare it from this to this. That's it. So what is the answer? What is the way out? You have to do successive dilution. That's it. From 10 molar, do 1 molar, then 0.1 molar, 0.01 molar, that's it. So you have to think that way also. And then we are very close to the end. Messages. Chemistry is the most applied science without any hesitation. Chemistry is not a subject just to memorize. I have given the demo. Do not just read science, realize it and play with it. Play jokes with science. Do you play jokes? Can you tell some jokes? Huh? With science. With science. We have jokes every day we are getting in WhatsApp. But in science, let me give one. Again demo. Giving a demo. Scientists were playing hide and seek, lukochuri in Bengali. So scientists were playing hide and seek. What is the principle of that game? Somebody will count down 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 maybe up to 20 or 30. That means he or she will spend some time. By that time, the other players will hide themselves. And when the counting will be over, he or she comes and finds one. So he or she needs to do two things: to find one and to tell the correct name. Okay? So scientists were playing the hide and seek, and Einstein was the thief, so to say. So he was counting down, and all other scientists playing in the game, they hid themselves in different places. But Newton was a clever person. What he did in the open field, he stood there, took something to mark. He drew 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, and stood like this. And then when counting was over, Einstein came and immediately told, "Oh, Newton, I got you, so you are the thief now." Newton told, "No, you have found out me, but not Newton, so you have told the name wrong. That means you are thief again." Then Einstein argued, "You are Newton." "No." Newton told, "Now I am no more Newton. Newton, you see 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, that means Newton per square meter. Newton per square meter, that means Newton per square meter, Pascal. So at the moment I am Pascal." So this is the way you can enjoy with science. Ask questions to yourself, try to apply science to your daily life and enjoy it. Last slide may be an appeal to the teachers from the students. You see, as I told in the beginning, I am fond of these quotations. Baliganj, Kendriya Vidyalaya Baliganj, this school is full of these quotes. So again another demo, even if the quotation is very big, if you love it, it stays with you. I only had once to see it, but it stayed with me. I did not memorize it. What was the message? It's an appeal to the teachers from the students. If I can't understand the way you teach, why can't you teach in a way I understand? I loved it. I am repeating. If I can't understand the way you teach, why can't you teach in a way I understand? So, thank you very much. If you have any question, don't hesitate. Please go ahead.